We finally cracked 1 million in revenue for the first time. My name is Jason Reno. I'm one of the founders and owners here at Definitive Edge Marketing and Data Accelerator. Our primary focus is showing businesses how to find, leverage, and monetize high intent data. Our situation was our agency and data consulting business. We were trying to scale and hit a little bit of a roadblock in between the sales and the fulfillment cycle. And then I had seen several of your videos, and that's when I reached out to you asking specifically for help with my partner Alvin and the fulfillment team. How do we structure that? And then it's transpired into so much more than just that. We had frankly hired another group that we were paying a substantial amount of money. It was a clusterfuck basically. And 6 months later, we were literally still in the same place. And then fast forward, we start working with you in a completely different format. And we were able to break through that plateau, I would say, within 30 days, whether it's sales, booking the follow-up call on the first call. There's all these just like little nuggets of stuff that I feel like you drop in these calls where if you pay attention enough and take some notes and put them into action, they make all those little nuggets make a big impact. What we saw rather quickly. How long have we been working together now? It's been under 6 months, I think. We're doing over $1 million a year worth of business now. And I would say our business increased at least 20%, realistically, probably more over the last, say, 3 to 6 months that we've been working together. Before Shaw came, Alvin taking a vacation was damn near impossible because we always had to have somebody. But now Alvin could literally disappear for 48 hours and our business wouldn't skip a beat. Now I get to go hang out with my kids, watch a show, take my dog for a walk or something. And now I'm just 100% linearly focused on sales and growth. And I think the next step, because we're now to the point with our paid ads, which you got us out of our comfort zone and made us double our budget and all that fun stuff. But now I'm doing 30, 40 sales calls. I think I did 25 last week. So it's making a big difference. It works.
And you guys haven't lost any of your hair yet, right?
No, I haven't lost any hair. So still got it all, thank God.
That's awesome.
Maybe a few more grays, but still there at least. I think he's actually going to Vegas over Thanksgiving or Christmas. I fortunately travel with my kids all the time with lacrosse. I spent 30 something nights in hotels between June and July, but I would also block out my schedule. I'd sit in a hotel room or go downstairs and get a conference room at the hotel and work for a day and take sales calls. I think that's one of the best parts of the job. Got all these other dads, I got to request time off and this and that. And I was just like, dude, I'm still making money. Specifically with you and the process, one, it's unique. Like we've had a few other coaches and your approach is different. I feel like most coaches come to you with, hey, here's what you need to do. And it's 10 things. And every business is supposed to do those same 10 things. And it's just, wait a minute, like maybe 5 of those things apply, but the other 5, I don't want nothing to do with, where I don't feel like you have any preconceived notion of what we should be doing. Like you literally listen, analyze, and then give a customized approach. You're giving me advice specific to our business and situation, not some general rinse and repeat bullshit that you're trying to sell to 1 million people. Going from like literally $1,000 a month to $6,000 a month in paid advertising like that. And that type of stuff got me out of my comfort zone a little bit, but doing it properly, having the team in place, having enough time on my calendar, it all worked out. We're definitely bringing in more money than we're spending on advertising right this second. So that's a good thing. Really honing in on our target audience where we're cutting out some of these niches or businesses that we know we can't help and starting to disqualify people before they even get into the funnel or once they hit landing pages. So it's obviously only going to get better for there. And right now we're just prepping and getting ready to double down come that first week in January and double ad spend and see what happens.
What made you say yes to working with me initially?
I think following you on social media, the little bit of interactions we've had, you just seem like somebody who already knew. I knew in terms of your qualifications, like you managed a ton of ad spend, you managed people. So that's what I liked is what you had already done was what we needed advice for. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves with coaches. It's like you can't, if you've never done it, like it's tough to coach it. Like how are you going to coach me on building a $5 million a year business when you've never helped anybody else or yourself build a $5 million? It's that practical knowledge versus theoretical knowledge is what I guess you portrayed and I thought you had from the initial postings or even our initial conversations before we even said yes. That's what kind of won me over. Things are going well. We're consistently booking sales calls with our Facebook ads. We're now starting to see some referrals from some past clients that we're continuing to get good business from, getting more like video testimonials and that type of stuff that we're leveraging. I feel like go a long way when I'm on a sales call and it's, hey, after the call, jump on my website site. There's a half a dozen video testimonials talking about not just the data, but what it's like working with my team and I and the value of our team. That type of stuff goes a long ways. We're consistently at 6 figures a month now. This will be the first year that we'll consistently be at 100K plus MMR every month, which is nice. Gives us some breathing room, some wiggle room. It allowed us to hire a few people, but now it's time to break through that plateau in terms of setting up the operations flow, the management. We really started leaning more into ClickUp. I think you use Asana, but we use ClickUp and really leaned into that for right down to the point where this will be the first full month in November, which I'm excited for, but we're actually keeping track of the time that our staff spends on every single client. At the end of the month, I'm going to actually know, hey, right down to the penny based off the hour that I paid to the employee, how profitable each client is. Where before it was hard cost and then we'd estimate some labor, but now it's what clients are time sucks, what clients are low touch, high value, what clients we're going to be able to know a lot more information about my business at the end of this month with all the tracking and everything that we've implemented. That feels good when clients are willingly giving us video testimonials. One client, and that's the nice thing about as the client list grows, then some referrals are coming in. We had one guy call us yesterday. I got a guy that needs to spend $500,000 in the next 20 days. How quickly can you get us data? And I was like, how quickly can you pay the invoice? And paid the invoice in 2 fucking hours. And boom, there's your data. Send me a list. We enriched it and literally no sales calls, no communication over an email. We closed the client in 2 hours. Obviously being able to financially support our families is huge for both Alvin and I. We're both married. We both have teenage kids. Alvin was working full time when we launched this agency. So he was doing double duty, 40 hours a week working at his job and still trying to maintain clients. One of the coolest things that has happened throughout this whole process was Alvin got to quit his job and give his notice, tell his boss, I'm out of here. And now he's full time with us for the last over a year now or so. So now he gets to take his kids to school. He gets to pick up his kids. He gets to do all these sports. Him and his son are going to the gym together, working out. Alvin's working out. He has a freaking nutritional coach. This is not even the same guy that I started working with 5 years ago.
What would you tell somebody who's watching right now that's unsure about working with me?
I would say just do it without any hesitation. Do it. And that's just because of the good experience we've had. We've breakthroughs. I say 20%, but it's probably more than that, an increase in business. It's not what if you do it, it's what if you don't do it. It's you're bringing so much more value than what you're charging. So it's a matter of, hey, I don't know. I would say just do it. I'm trying to think of some fancier, better way to say it, but it's from past experiences from working with you with the last 6 months. I can say without a doubt that I would highly recommend it. And unless you're just going to listen to Lance and not do anything, it's almost impossible for it to not be valuable. But if you just do half of the shit that he tells you, which is, I feel like we end up doing about half or maybe 3/4 of what you actually tell us to do because you give us so many ideas. But if you just do half of what you suggest, it's going to be worth every penny.